Hi, I'm Stephanie Wyngaard and I'm a care practitioner at Community Keepers. And today I would like to talk to you about the fight, flight and freeze response and how you can manage that with a relaxation response. So the flight, flight response was first described by Dr. Walter Bradford Connor in his book called Bodily Changes in Hunger, Pain, Fear and Rage in 1950. He believed that when our bodies are threatened by something that scares us, it releases a chemical called the adrenaline. And the body changes is our heart rate goes up, our blood pressure rises, our breathing goes faster, and the consequences of this is that it affects the flow of oxygen to our muscles. This happens quickly so that it can protect our bodies. The fight, flight and freeze response plays a critical role in how we handle stress and danger in our daily lives. This can be triggered by both imaginary situations and also real situations. So when you do have moments where you're afraid of the height, you will see that when you even think about getting on Table Mountain, you wanting to go on the cable car, it immediately triggers the flight, flight or freeze response. So what are the other things that happens to our bodies during the fight, flight and freeze response? So in our brain, there's a part called the medulla oblongata, which is responsible for our breathing, our movement, our heart rate and blood pressure. So the medulla oblongata is actually known as being the body's watchdog. So when it senses the fear or the danger, our body is going to survival mode quicker than our minds can react, leaving us to feel like, why are we feeling this way? So when the fight, flight or freeze response is triggered, it leads the body to believe that there is a threat. So what do we then do? It's either we fight, thinking, do we attack the danger? Or we decide, do I flight? Because I'm too scared, so you run away from the problem, or do you freeze? Some people get stuck and don't have any reaction, so they become immobile and stuck in the situation. So when a child and an adult has experienced loss, neglect, violence, or even abuse, they become traumatized, hopeless, and reactive. And so that's why the body triggers and uses fight, flight, and freeze response as a tool to protect our bodies. And sometimes these feelings are very uncomfortable, but it's important for us to notice these changes. So what are the symptoms of the fight, flight, and freeze response? So we get sweaty, we sometimes get cross and aggressive, our bodies start shaking, we get butterflies in our stomachs, we also sometimes just want to get out of the situation and run away. What we sometimes also experience is that we are nervous and scared, and these are all the symptoms that goes through our body when we experience the fight, flight and freeze response. Is the fight, flight or freeze response, is it a bad thing? So we all go through the fight, flight and freeze response sometimes, somewhere, in some situations. Just some to various degrees. It happens naturally and in a healthy manner. However, if the fight, flight and freeze response leads to aggressive behavior such as anger, anxiety, depression, prolonged stress, or even any other problems, it might be time to intervene. And you would say when you do go through that and it becomes a situation where it's prolonged stress or any other problems and you can't seem to handle it, it might be time to practice some calming strategies.